Good morning. Good morning, my beautiful friends. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul. I am Maui Paul. We are here today to say some nice things about ourselves. A little bit of a delayed call today. I was having some technical issues getting the call set up this morning, but we are here and I'm really excited about that. So thank you guys so much for being here, having some fun with me, and coming together to affirm some good things about ourselves. We're going to do the same thing we do every day. I'm going to pull a card off the top of my deck. I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the card, and we are going to respond out loud together. I am that affirmation. As we do this, we are building into ourselves, we're building into our own lives, we are changing the character of our experience. And I want to say thank you guys so much for being here through that. So let's have some fun. Let's pull a card off the top of the deck and say that today I am committed. I am committed. I dedicate myself wholeheartedly. So I am committed. I dedicate myself wholeheartedly. Are you committed? Hey, Pepper, you are committed. You dedicate yourself wholeheartedly. So I'm going to. All right, so we are committed today. We dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly. And as we do, we are ultimately bringing much joy into our own lives. So I'm going to write this on the comments, and I encourage you to do the same thing. As we say, I am committed. I dedicate myself wholeheartedly. All right, so indeed, I am committed, and you are too. We are committed people. We dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly to our dreams, to our hopes, to our goals, to our aspirations. And yeah, you're very funny, Shauna. Shauna says, "Fine, I am committed." I could tell the tone in your voice where you say that. So a bit of an in joke. So a while back, I hosted or should I say, there was a party, and so I organized up a group costume for this party, and I was able to get some of the least committed people, or not the least committed, but the least commitment minded people to commit to actually doing this costume with me, and it was so fun. So Shauna was one of those people, and so indeed we are committed. I just want to say good morning to everybody who is here. Looks like there's a bunch of folks here this morning. So good morning, Dan from Buford. Good morning, Jan, coming in from Paradise. Lauren's also coming in from Paradise as well. Good morning, Shauna. Yes, indeed, we are okay from last night's storm. Although I did have some minor technical issues getting the wake up call going this morning. I'm not entirely sure what was going on with that, but we made it happen. Good morning. Let's see. Good morning, Pepper, coming in. She's moderating my Twitch stream right now, keeping them spammers at bay. Thank you, Pepper. Good morning, Lauren. Good morning. Let's see. Good morning, Dan, coming in from Buford. Uh, Dan says, I am committed. They might let me out someday. I hope that they do. I don't know, Dan. I think you found one of the most pleasant places to be committed to. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning, Susan. Susan also says that she needs to be committed. Maybe you and Dan can get together. Let's see here. And then Jan says, I'm always committed until I back out. Yes. All of the varying takes on this word. You guys are awesome. I love hearing all this stuff. But in the end, we are committed. We do dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly, even if we even if we change our minds later. The fact is that for the moment that or for the time that we do dedicate ourselves, that we dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly. We dedicated ourselves to the things that are most important to us. The fact is that commitment is an ongoing thing. Commitment is something that we don't just say we're committed once. We say that we remain committed, and just like quite a few of you have said, we remain committed, but that doesn't mean that we are rigid about making sure that we constantly accomplish the things that we say that we're going to, but rather that we are consciously and constantly moving toward the things that are most important to us. We're not committed to it to a particular action. We are committed to a particular outcome, and that's an important distinction to understand. It's that when we're committed to actions, then when we're committed to actions, then then we are we ultimately, gosh, what am I trying to say here? When we are committed to actions, then we can get into a rigid mindset of I have to do this thing because I said I had to do it, as opposed to I'm doing this thing because it serves my goals. And when we're committed to outcomes, then it doesn't really matter how we get there, so long as we achieve our outcome. That's the most important thing. So being committed to being committed to actions is something that is part of being committed to an outcome, but only when that action serves the outcome. And so I remember when I first started to do goal setting, that and first started to really decide what I wanted out of life. And I made up a list of the things that were most important to me, and I started to go through that list. But there were certain items on that list that I just could not make myself do. And for a long time, I just felt like this was a character flaw, that I had these things on my list. I had these things that were important to me, and I wasn't doing them. And I didn't know why I wasn't doing them. I just knew that I wasn't. And every single day I would get up and I would look at my list, and then I would punish myself for not doing the things that I thought that I should be doing. And after a while, I realized that it was the reason I wasn't doing those things is because I wasn't really committed to that goal. That I really didn't want to do it. That I had things on my list that were there because I loved them and I desired to do them. And I also had things on my list because I thought I had to do them. They weren't in line with who I was as a person. They weren't in line with any of my major goals. They were really just like things that I had told myself that I would do a long time ago. And then situations had changed and circumstances had changed, and then those things weren't as important to me anymore. It's like sometimes the goals themselves become irrelevant over the course of time. Back when I owned a restaurant, I had a commitment to myself to like revamp my menu. Well, eventually, when I realized that the restaurant wasn't working out, the commitment that I made to myself to revamp my menu became irrelevant because I wasn't running it anymore. I wasn't doing it. And so, when I closed down that project and I cut my losses and I moved on from that, then all the little sub goals that were related to that, those things weren't those things became irrelevant, and consequently I wasn't doing them. I couldn't bring myself to do them. When things work, they are addictive. And so when I look at my own to-do list and I'm like, well, what is it that I'm on? What is it that I jump out of bed and I'm happy to do? And what is it I'm just ignoring and I'm not doing every day? The things that I jump out of bed and I'm really, really happy to do are the things that are working, are the things that are very much in line with my values, are the things that are showing me that they are already bearing fruit. I jump out of bed in the morning and I immediately start building marketing systems for my friends. And why is that? And it's because I can see that I can see that the folks that I've done this for and am continuing to do this for are thriving, and that's in line with my values. It's in line with my values for these people to thrive, and of course I'm also thriving as I do this stuff. So therefore, it's addictive for me to do it. And so when we dedicate ourselves, we have to understand that dedicating ourselves wholeheartedly does not mean dedicating ourselves eternally. It means dedicating ourselves wholeheartedly. And it means dedicating ourselves and being committed to doing things that are important to us and that are important to the people around us. Ultimately, we have a couple of different types of commitments, but the first type is the things that we commit to ourselves to do, which are born of a sense of our own identity. And then we also have the things that, the commitments that we've made to other people, things that we've said that we would do that affect these other people. That I don't always like to do some of the tasks related to building marketing systems for people, but I committed to other people that I would do it, and the success of their businesses is on the line here, and so therefore I do it, and even if I don't like it in the moment, I recognize that that larger commitment includes some of these smaller commitments that are not necessarily my favorite things to do, However, I do them because they are part of something larger that is much more important to me to accomplish and to achieve. So I am committed today. You are committed as well, and we dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly. Yesterday I actually had, man, I spent a lot of time down in Atlanta, way more time than I thought I was going to, doing going to a midwife and just taking care of medical stuff with me and Pepper. And that sort of thing is a manifestation of commitment. It's a manifestation of our commitment to have the healthiest possible pregnancy and to raise the next generation in the healthiest possible way by employing the correct professionals to do the work, and also by just being involved in the process. When I was at the midwife, I was the only guy at the midwife. I was the only man there, and all of the other people who were there, they basically talked about how they're the men who were involved in their various pregnancies, weren't really there, weren't involved in the process, and so they had to spearhead that and be involved in the process in order to make this stuff happen. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, I'm committed to the next generation. I mean, I'm helping to make the next generation. So of course I'm going to attend this appointment. It's important for me to understand, how the midwife works, what exactly is happening, what's happening and when, and what their cares and concerns are, etc. And so, because of that, I am committed, and I do dedicate myself wholeheartedly. And so too are you today. So too are all of us. So as we go through our day, let's dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly to the things which bring us closer to the big goals in our lives, to the things that are most important for us to achieve. And if there's something on your list that's just staring at you and you just can't make yourself do it, ask yourself, is that thing still in line with my goals? Is it in line with my dreams? Am I going to hurt anybody if this doesn't happen? And if it's not in line with your goals, and if it's not in line with your dreams, and if you're not going to hurt anybody if it doesn't happen, give yourself the gift of letting it go. Because part of commitment is understanding what it is that is important to commit to and what it is that we can let go, and that we can just let it slide and say, that was important to me, but it's no longer important to me. And seeing as how it's not going to hurt anybody else if I don't do it, then I'm just going to let myself not do it and move on to the things that are more in line with who I am as a person, and more in line with the bigger goals that I am working to achieve. So I'm very curious if you guys just put it down in the comments. What are the things that you are committed to? What are your commitments to yourself and to others that you are going to be working on today? So I actually am committed to Pepper's health. I'm taking her to the dentist here in about 45 minutes. We're going to go and fix the rest of her teeth, which is just a manifestation of commitment in relationship, and making sure that she is healthy and well and able to help me with the various projects that I have. But more importantly, that she is able to have the healthiest possible pregnancy by making sure that her mouth is healthy, that her bacterial load is low, so that the child that's growing inside of her has the best possible chance of growing properly and having a nice, healthy, and easy pregnancy. So I'm going to take her to the dentist in about 45 minutes, and I'm going to bring my laptop with me because I've got marketing systems to build. And this will be a fairly long dental appointment. And you know what? I can be at the dental appointment. I can be supportive, and also I can still manage my commitments to other people that are very, very important. So we are committed people today. We dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly. So let's get to it on this wonderful day. I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Let's see here. So again, good morning again to Dan and Jan and Lauren and Shauna for being here today. Thank you again, Pepper, for moderating my Twitch stream. You are awesome. Good morning to let's see here. Good morning to Susan. I know that you came in today. Good morning, Armando. Wonderful to see you. Wonderful to see all you guys here today. So we are committed. We dedicate ourselves wholeheartedly, and we are and we are going to have an amazing day. I will message you ASAP so you can bring your rainbow over. Thank you, Shauna, for being committed to our friendship. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 9 a.m. Until then, I love you. I care about you. I think you're an amazing person. And I will return tomorrow with another wake up call. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Aloha from paradise.